Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Task Force Alpine deployment ceremony. Task Force Alpine is composed of soldiers from the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team Mountain, specifically from the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team's headquarters and headquarters company in the 1st Squadron, 172nd Cavalry Regiment. The soldiers you see in front of you are trained and prepared to deploy in support of Joint Multinational Training Group Ukraine. Today you will hear from state and unit leadership, as well as witness the casing of the colors as the unit moves out to complete its federal mission. In our Army, the unit colors join their units in formation during ceremonies to signify the unit's proud history in past campaigns and the presence of the commander and his headquarters. When a unit or the headquarters of a unit deploys, the colors are cased, literally furled and placed inside a canvas cover to signify that the command has ceased operations at its current location. The colors are then uncased at the new location to signify that the command is operational at its new station.
Task Force, attention!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party. Major General Gregory Knight, Colonel Frank Tintillo, and Command Sergeant Major Andrew Campaign. Also in attendance today, representing Congresswoman Ballant, is Thomas Renner. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The deploying soldiers are formed in front of you and are designated as Task Force Alpine. Colonel Frank Tintillo is the commander of Task Force Alpine. Command Sergeant Major Andrew Campaign is the Task Force Command Sergeant Major. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Major Matt Higgins, the Task Force Alpine Operations Officer. At this time, I would like to invite Chaplain Broughton to deliver the invocation.
Please join me in prayer or quiet reflection for these words of encouragement. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, exciting but also heartfelt. Lord, as we reflect on all that this unit has done to prepare for this deployment, all that they will accomplish going forward, as well as those family members and friends they leave behind for a time. Lord, I pray each and every person here would remain hopeful, perseverant, as well as dedicated, each in their own faith traditions, with their families and their fellow soldiers. Lord, I lift up the officers and pray that they may lead or learn with wisdom and sound judgment. I pray for the NCOs as they focus on training, above all soldier care. I pray for all the soldiers here. They will serve our nation honorably. And Lord, I pray for our families as well, families and friends, that they would find peace through difficult days, but also find find pride and purpose as they support their soldiers overseas. Lord, there will inevitably be challenges, and I pray that each and every person, soldier and family and friend alike, would look left and right of each other, lean on each other. But Lord, there will also inevitably be great successes and achievements. I pray they would also look left and right as we celebrate these achievements, from training, accomplishments, from trips and lifelong friendships. Lord, I pray over every package, every piece of mail. Lord, as your word says, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, just, lovely, and pure, if there's anything excellent, if there's anything worthy of praise, think on these things. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. And may the peace that surpasses all understanding be with all those going forward. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Broughton. Today's ceremony marks the beginning of Task Force Alpine's deployment to the United States European Command Area of Responsibility. While deployed for the next 10 months, Task Force Alpine will fall beneath the 7th Army Training Command in Grofenwoehr, Germany. Task Force Alpine's mission during this deployment is to train the armed forces of Ukraine to resist Russian aggression. Since 2022, the Joint Multinational Training Group Ukraine mission has provided training to thousands of Ukrainian soldiers to prepare them to defend their homeland using modern doctrine and tactics. This mission has strategic impacts at the highest levels of U.S. foreign and defense policy. Task Force Alpine has been entrusted with a great responsibility in the execution of this mission. The training that Task Force Alpine provides the soldiers of Ukraine will be tried under fire in the weeks and months following the completion of each training course. This mission is scheduled to conclude in November of 2026, with the return of Task Force Alpine taking place during that month. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adjutant General of Vermont, Major General Gregory Knight.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is a distinct honor and privilege to be here with all of you. And somebody told me once, you're better off script, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But first and foremost, thanks to our congressional delegation for being here. Our work together is important, and I can't tell you how much I value the work you do on our behalf, so it matters. So thanks for being a part of it. To our families, our employers, our friends, having a turnout like this is incredibly validating for our soldiers. It means a lot to have you here. So while the Guard is not new to deployments, I think it's pretty clear to anybody who serves in uniform or supports those who do in our Guard, it comes at a cost. And sometimes we don't tell that story often enough, and why the soldiers you see standing in front of you are so special. They're different. And if you look at what it means to serve in our Guard, it means time away from home. It means annual training, it means drill weekends, it means continuing education to build on our professional military curriculum. And sometimes it means deployment for both our Air and our Army National Guard. And that's a lot of stress on a family. It's a lot of stress on our employers, and it's a lot of stress on our soldiers and our airmen. And knowing this, knowing all that comes with being in our Guard, everyone you see standing here still stepped forward and said, "I will serve." And that to me speaks volumes of their character, of their professionalism, their work ethic, and their mission focus. So I personally thank you all for stepping forward and doing such an incredible mission. So let's talk about the mission for a moment. It is important. I would argue it's critical. So you heard the title, Joint Military Training Group Ukraine. These soldiers will be engaged in training the Ukrainian military, helping to build their capability, their capacity, their expertise. And I can think of no better unit and no better leaders to make that happen. So I expect you, in fact, there's no expectation, I know you will do wonderfully, and you will execute your duty extremely well. My only ask of you is you take care of each other while you're deployed, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need something. Just because you're away from home doesn't mean you're absent support. We're going to be here for you. And that same message is true for our families. Having been deployed, as many of us have, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong during deployment. So there's a lot of pride in Vermont. A lot of folks are very independent. Just know that you have a network here for you to support you and provide you the resources that you need. All you have to do is ask, and we can help you get whatever issue you're dealing with on the right track. So again, I wish every one of you the best of luck. I cannot tell you how incredibly proud I am of the work you're going to do, the work you have done, and certainly of serving as your Adjutant General for the past 7 years. So I wish you Godspeed, I wish you good luck, and Frank, you just make sure you bring everybody home. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, Major General Knight. At this time, Major General Knight will present the Vermont battle flag to Colonel Tintillo.
Go off script for a second. So I'm going to go off script. So, if there's any history majors in here, does anybody understand the significance of the Vermont battle flag? Also known as the Battle of Bennington flag. I think we actually stole it from New Hampshire, but I think the statute of limitations has passed. So leading up to the Battle of Bennington, General John Stark and the Green Mountain Boys were preparing to do battle with the British. And before the battle, General Stark said, "Today the enemy is ours, or tonight Molly Stark sleeps a widow." So fortunately he was correct in his assertion that the enemy was theirs. Thus the origination. It's a short version. I wasn't there, but the short version. So I'm going to pass this on to Frank. Every unit that we've had go forward on a deployment brings this flag back, and we hang on to it as one of our historical artifacts, kind of a commemoration of our service to our communities, our state, and our nation. So Frank.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Task Force Alpine, Colonel Frank Tintillo.
Sir, I'm not going to go off script, so I'm going to stay right on it the best I can. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, leaders, soldiers, families, and friends. Today is an important moment for the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team and the 1st Squadron, 172nd Cavalry Regiment, as we prepare to deploy in support of JMTGU in Europe. This mission matters not only to our allies and partners, but to our own readiness, credibility, and responsibility as soldiers. First, I want to sincerely thank Major General Knight for the trust and confidence you have placed in me and this brigade to lead and execute this mission. Your confidence in the 86th is not taken lightly. It reflects your belief in our soldiers, our leaders, and our ability to deliver disciplined, professional results on behalf of the Army and our nation. We are honored by that trust, and we are committed to earning it every day of this deployment. To the soldiers, you represent the very best of our nation. You have trained hard, you have adapted, and you have prepared yourselves to operate alongside our partners in a very complex environment. This mission will demand professionalism, humility, expertise, and I'm confident you are ready to meet that challenge. To the families and our friends, none of this happens without you. Your support, sacrifice, and resilience make this mission possible. You carry additional burdens so that your soldiers can serve. Please know that we recognize that sacrifice. We value it, and we are committed to I am for sure committed to taking care of your soldiers and staying connected with you throughout this deployment. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the state leadership and the state staff. Your behind-the-scenes support, logistics, administration, readiness, and the family programs ensures that this brigade can deploy prepared and sustain itself forward. Your work matters, and it directly contributes to mission success, and I want to thank you personally. The 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team has a proud history as the Army's, I want to say it again, as the Army's only true mountain brigade. That history is built on adaptability, toughness, and teamwork. Today, the same spirit carries us forward. We understand the importance of this mission, the responsibility it carries, and the trust placed in us. Let me be clear, the 86 is ready. Ready to deploy, ready to lead, ready to complete this mission, and stand ready to return home safely. Thank you to everyone who made today possible. We're proud to serve, we're proud to represent our state and our nation, and proud to move forward together. Ready to go.
And now Colonel Tantillo, Commander of Task Force Alpine, and Command Sergeant Major Campaign will case the brigade colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing the Army song. The words to the song are located on the back of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the departure of the official party. This concludes the ceremony. On behalf of Task Force Alpine and the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team Mountain, we thank you for attending this deployment color casing ceremony.